in order to lock us up, in order to mass lock us up, that you got to create criminals. You see what I'm saying? Because I ain't nobody born no criminal. You got to create a criminal. So you got to put him in a circumstance, in a situation whereas he make a bad decision, not as a criminal decision, but just a bad decision. Whereas you could say he's criminal.
And you got to give an image for that criminal too. Also, what does a criminal look like? So now that they got at these police training boards and these police academies, they're gonna have this black person with a trench coat on, or this black person with a gold teeth in his mouth. Right.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a black person with gold in his mouth. Or it's a black person who swole because he's been to prison.
6 foot tall.
Right. Just being black. And that's why I don't mind you including race in the conversation, because what we look like, our race, is a part of the image. It's a part of the logo, so to speak, of some of these labels. And when you criminal, like you just said, felon, prisoner, low life. I mean, so many of these different labels that they attach to.
So now instead of using a label, instead of using black like they used to, we can just use a label.
Exactly.
And it's like code talking.
Yeah,
it's code switching.
It's a non-threatening way it's a neutral way of saying black. We know what you're talking about, but you ain't really say it technically.
It's just like,
what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it's against the law to say it. So now,
it's against the law. It's
now they can say, all right, well,
incorrect.
They saying the woke nation. Now they say, oh, we're against the woke nation. So now you already know that. Okay, when you say the woke nation, you actually saying, well, we're against black people, or we're against everybody who side with black people with this so-called consciousness, awareness that they got going on. So these are the people that we're going against now. So these are the people that we got to. It's just like the same thing they did in the 70s, in the 60s with all the movements. You had to actually say, what the Black Panther Party or the Move people or Slick was actually a threat to national security. Let's think about it. You got a group of college kids. It ain't even no more than 1,000 or more. How we a threat to the United States national security? You see what I'm saying? You saying that Martin Luther King, one man, is the biggest threat in America. Well, how is that? Malcolm X is the biggest threat in America. One man now, he's the biggest threat in America. So you had to make them criminals. You had to make them threats in order to carry out an agenda of killing them. So that's how they do us. They actually paint a picture, show the nation a threat.
And then specifically when they were speaking in regards of like making Malcolm X or Martin Luther King a threat, they weren't speaking in regards of a single person. They were speaking in regards of a consciousness.
Yeah.
Like everybody coming together as a collective whole and getting on one accord, thinking and moving into this. So that's why when they came out there, they didn't give a fuck who they beat up. They beat up your kids. They beat up the old women who were 80, 90 years old. They would kill them right there in front of you. It don't matter.
Right.
Because all of them are one. This is a consciousness. Like J. Edgar Hoover said, we're trying to prevent a messiah from arising.
Right.
And only the people who were unconscious of what he meant by society, by a messiah, they were thinking that they were talking about just this one person. So kill Martin Luther King, or just kill Geronimo Pretter, kill Malcolm X, kill Matul Shakur, you know what I'm saying, or kill whoever, you know what I'm saying. It wasn't just that, it was a consciousness of people coming together as a collective whole, so that's what they wanted to.
It's like Fred Hampton said about you can kill a revolutionary, but you can't kill a revolution.
You can't kill
a revolution, right. You can jail a revolutionary, but you can't kill a revolution. You know what I'm saying, because it's ongoing. And like, I remember like when Malcolm was assassinated, we had these commercials come on TV, all these little children just like, I'm Malcolm X, I'm Malcolm X. And this is the thing that they most afraid of, is the snowball effect of conscience, the snowball effect of us putting the veil off our eyes and waking up. This is why they're saying the woke nation. They're against the woke. And these people like in politics, like Kate Ivor, she mentioned it on national TV that she's against the woke nation.
Most of the time when they refer to what they call the woke nation, they talking about the LGBTQ and that agenda, but they tie it into Black Lives Matter mainly because the owners of that, Black Lives Matter LLC, organization, they lesbians, they part of the LGBTQ community, so the Republicans, they tie that into that and say all love is woke.
Yeah, but all of them always pick back on us anyway.
Regardless, you know what I'm saying? Well, the character. I mean, because there's two different characters that we're speaking about. What the woke, community character or whatever you want to call it. They not depicting him the same way that they depicting what they're referring to as this criminalized individual. You know what I'm saying? The people that they criminalize, that image right there look like us. You know what I'm saying? The image that they speak about when they talking about the woke stuff, they don't look like us. You know what I'm saying? And so on. And then, like I said, that's usually the Republican side that's talking about it. But neither here nor there. This same image, like you was just saying, they need the propaganda in order to justify what it is that they plan on doing. So if we got this plan to get these tax dollars. You know, we want to get the tax dollars from the people, and so we got to justify us getting the tax dollars from the people. So we need this new government program, you know, to lock niggas up. You know what I'm saying? Or to fund, because that's the easiest way for the government to steal the money. It's through the police.
Right,
it's the easiest way for them through the police, through the military.
Right.
It's the easiest way for them to steal the money.
And now they take this instance when a white man just killed the police. Now they're gonna take this to gas and intensify that. Now we need to militarize, and we need to become tougher on crimes because one of our officers got killed, or two of our officers just got killed. So now they finna push that. They're gonna try to fund that campaign, put the money behind that, and then they gonna excuse me, and then they're gonna attack the black communities, or they're gonna amp the police up in the black communities, or in the red line community. I'm not gonna say black community, in the red line.
Which red line is usually code switching for
right
black
or
yeah,
poor.
I mean, it ain't that's like there's nothing wrong with using the black, because I mean let's just use the black. Let's just say, because we're talking about arrest statistics and why is it that we fill up 75% of the prisons and yet we don't commit 75% of the crime?
Right.
Know what I'm saying?
True.
When you go and look at who committed the most rapes this year, know what I'm saying? It's gonna be white people. And last year, and the year before that, and the year before that, who did the most drug trafficking? Who killed the most police? It was white people. Who trafficked, used, or sold the most drugs? They gonna be white people every single time. And you would think by looking at the arrest records that obviously white people would fill up the prison.
Right.
And yet they make up a much smaller percentage of the prison. And it's because we are, those of us that find ourselves in here, realize between being arrested and then being in prison, there's a whole lot of stuff that go on in between that. You know what I'm saying? We call it the judicial system. And so, you know, and it's rigged. It's rigged so that we be in here and they don't. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get your charges dropped. You're going to get a lesser charge. Or you're going to get probation or time served or whatever the case may be. I'm going to get 20 years. Exact same charge. Exact same, you know, first time offender, all of that same shit. So, there's nothing wrong with including the race. We understand they did this purposefully to us because of our race. And it ain't nothing wrong with speaking about that. But the government did this. Now, it wasn't a specific race. Most of that government that did it were white, but we can't say all white people. True, I agree with that part. You know what I'm saying? But we understand that, come on, man, they did this to us because we look like this. You know what I'm saying?
You know what?
That's part of it.
That was the initial plot off the top. You know, straight out of the Civil War, straight out of the initiation of the 13th Amendment. They knew that they had to get a small portion of their own people. They sacrificed a lamb, so they knew they had to get a small portion of their people to get a large number of all people to revert back to slavery, like the 13th Amendment say. That's why in the 13th Amendment it says slavery, no indentured servitude. I know blacks never been no indentured servitude. Only whites been in indentured servitude. So they knew in order to entrap them, they had to sacrifice a small portion of their own people. Well, it's really their own people because when you start separating, white is a privilege. So the ones that we see around here, these are the ones they call poor white trash or crackers or something like that. They try to pile trash. So they ain't mind sacrificing their life in order to get 50% of a project in New York, 50% of a project in Birmingham, or 50% of a project in the West Nile, and start this chain of action. Whereas this is the narrative now. Well, we know every year we're gonna lock up so many people out of this neighborhood. They keep statistics. Anytime you keep statistics and data on anything, that means that you got a program in place, you got a scheme in place to guarantee that these numbers never drop. So yeah, it's a pot out the top. And America is good at killing. And they was built up on killing. They was built up on rape. They was built up on kidnapping. You know what I'm saying? They would make America a miracle. You know what I'm saying? That's why.
I mean, and to another point of the original topic, you know, this vilifying us, creating this character, you know, with our image to represent the character of a criminal, a felon, or they did it back in the G with the you know, the carrot. What you call them?
Carrot capture. The carrot capture.
Yeah, the Sambos and all of that type of stuff.
caricature.
Yeah, and
Caricature.
they just trying to you know, depict us in a derogatory way. You know what I'm saying? And so, and that right there allows for them to justify treating us a particular way. You know, and so when they say, oh man, those prisoners, those guys in there, they look at them, they animals, they behave this way, they, you know, and they depict us a certain way to justify, you know, the treatment. But the vast majority of the public, the vast majority, you know, they indifferent to what take place, you know, for prisoners. You know, with the treatment, the mistreatment that we face with, they don't really care about all of that. They indifferent to it, the vast majority of the public. And if it ain't your mama or somebody that know you or really, you know, love you or something like that, they don't really care. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad, but that's the truth. Once you become convicted of a crime, human beings restrict empathy from you. You know what I'm saying? The circumstances surrounding the conviction notwithstanding, once you be convicted of a crime, no matter who you are, human beings like they restrict a certain level of empathy for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're like, well, you getting what you deserve. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you there for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be, and whatever human decency, they feel like regular humans, for whatever reason, whoever they are, whatever, you know, they should be they should have, whatever human decency a regular person should have, they feel like as a prisoner, you deserve a lower level of that. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like a prerequisite of being locked up. You know what I'm saying? It's just expected. So it's like, hey man, you, even though it's not the law, even though that's not, you know, the Constitution, it's like, oh man, well, you shouldn't have did what you did to get there, you know, and so forth. So we got to be more focused on building connections and building relationships with people who are empathetic, people who, you know, or maybe not necessarily empathetic, but just they with what's right, they with the law. You know what I'm saying? They like, okay, well, the law say this is what it should be, and this is what y'all not doing. And if you don't enforce the law on them, then enforce the law on the same institutions, the same organizations, the same government agencies that have been, you know, tasked to uphold the law. You know what I'm saying? To carry out the law. Why they exempt? You know what I'm saying? Why when they breaking the law, they obviously breaking the law. You know, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? But when we breaking the law, you know what I'm saying? We criminals and we demons and we all of this stuff here and we deserve the worst of the earth.
Hey, that's simply really because we are criminalized before we even get into the system.
Like I said,
We were criminalized before we even, before we were born. We already stereotyped. You know what I'm saying? We already got heavy policemen as kids. We already got being treated, our children are treated like criminals when we outside our home. We can't go outside our home and be kids. We got to go outside our home and be good. Better than good.
Yeah, you can't just jump the wrong fence.
You can't just
jump the wrong fence talking about you finna catch a football, boy, you finna get gunned down.
But
you know what I'm saying?
Our mistakes is pronounced as criminality, but theirs is treated as a neglect.
Oh, just a kid being a kid?
Yeah, a kid.